Welcome to Monday Mania, where we discuss everything that has happened in the world of triple threat promotions. I am your host, Cassie Willow. With me this week is Reno Phillips. We also have a new segment this week from Renee Rossdale. We're discussing events between the 4th of October and the 11th of October this week. We got some news as to Airwolf's attack on Jamari Mito.
I bet you all are wondering why I chose to attack Jamari Mito last week on episode 13. Well, let me break it down for you. Let's go back to last season. Anyone remember one? Charlie Braddock and him winning our championship and running back to NEW with it? Well, I do. So, I chose to do the right thing. I chose to get our championship back while our current champions just sat here in Ronin like nothing was going on. And a new championship was created. Our current champion, Jamari Mito. Our franchise chose to sit here and do nothing. He is supposed to embody our league. Well, guess what? There is a new franchise player, and his name is Airwolf. So I am now wearing that original championship and declaring myself the rightful grand champion. So Mito, I am throwing it out there at Bernie's Spirits. Why don't we have a little unification match to determine who the rightful champion is?
For those of you unfamiliar with what Airwolf mentions here, Charlie Braddock in his last match in Ronin Pro lost the Grand Championship, however stole the belt. Bringing it to New Extremes Wrestling, Airwolf ended up challenging Braddock for a match for that title, which Airwolf won. However, in the meantime, Ronin Pro had a new belt made for the champion, Jamari Mito. This, it would seem, is where the contention arose and what has caused Wolf to attack Mito, both seeing themselves as Ronin Pro's true grand champion. We got World Championship calls, Atom 47. Atom Duet Champions Brand New Evil would add to hashtag Gaijin's losing streak. We heard from Triple Threat Women's World Champion, Mai Nagano, and information on the next defense of that title, which will take place in December. Brand New Evil would attack Jade Barrett backstage. Kasumi would face Emi Watanabe in an Iron Will match. We would see a stare down after the match. Over to you, Reno.
Hashtag Gaijin versus Brand New Evil, 3 stars. Kasumi versus Emi Watanabe, 3 stars. Kid Tenshi versus Cosmic Tiger, 3 stars.
We also had World Championship calls, Pop, on Saturday. Nigel Renard would face Thomas Colville. Bone would show up after the match. The Ion WCC segment took us to Lucha Fiesta, where we saw Starbuck and Power take on Volts and Senor Gordo in a ladder match for the WCC Lucha Fiesta Tag Team Championships. Blair Prescott would face Sarah Saint. Jessica Saint attacking Sarah Saint after the match. Over to you, Reno.
Nigel Renard versus Thomas Colville, 3 stars. WCC Lucha Fiesta Tag Team Championships, Starbuck and Power versus Volts and Senor Gordo, 3 stars. Blair Prescott versus Sarah Saint, 3 stars.
We also had Ronin Pro Season 6 EP 14. Dregs faced Hagen. Havoc faced Frank Shatter. Sal Raparaz faced Isaac Thompson, the members of Masterclass at ringside costing Thompson a win. Nick Lincoln faced Antonio Bartlett. Wolf's Den faced Rage in Violence. Big Bushido faced Mercer. Over to you, Reno.
Dregs versus Hagen, 3 stars. Frank Shatter versus Havoc, 2 stars. Sal Raparaz versus Isaac Thompson, 3 stars. Nick Lincoln versus Antonio Bartlett, 3 stars. Wolf's Den versus Rage and Violence, 4 stars. Big Bushido versus Mercer, 3 stars.
We also had Ronin Pro Fight Club episode 14. Disco Beats would face Golden Dragon, Menace would face Golden Jaguar, and really do a number on him, I believe putting him out of action for the time being. Johnny Acid would face Nathan Landon, Steve Gage would face Alex Albright. Pegasus would face Eric Acid in the main event. Over to you, Reno.
Disco Beats versus Golden Dragon, 3 stars. Golden Jaguar versus Menace, 3 stars. Johnny Acid versus Nathan Landon, 3 stars. Steve Gage versus Alex Albright, 3 stars. Pegasus versus Eric Acid, 3 stars.
New Extremes Wrestling renewed the contracts of Alan Barry Bennett and Zach George. We also got World Championship CAWs, Blockbuster 16. The show opened with WCC Atom Champion Grand Aoki attacking NEW Women's World Champion and one half of the WCC Women's Tag Team Champions, Kathy Cross. We got Brienne of Mars taking on Mama Samedi. Brienne would be attacked by House Macabre after the match. We then saw Nigel Renard and Davy Joe Wolf. We also heard from the Iron Lassies. Sarah Saint and Freddie Armani would face Jessica Saint and War Machine. We then saw Bone and Thomas Colville. I think I finally figured out who the king figure we've been hearing about is, and if that's true, WCC is in for another shake-up upon his return. Over to you, Reno.
Brienne of Mars versus Mama Samedi. 2 stars. Sarah Saint and Freddie Armani versus Jessica Saint and War Machine. 4 stars. Brittany Beth versus Kathy Cross. 4 stars. Over to Renee Rossdale.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new feature here on Monday Mania Killing Kayfabe. With me, Renee Rossdale. I'm going to be breaking down all the backstage news, rumors, and gossip from World Championship CAWs. This week we start with good news and congratulations, which go out to Cherry Pie and Austin Jones, the 2 WCC originals who haven't been seen on screen since Game Over, have recently announced their engagement. After a 4-year relationship that saw the 2 welcome a daughter, Austin popped the question while on vacation in the Seychelles. In major in-ring news, World Championship KAWs have announced their first ever international supercard event. In an exclusive deal signed with the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, WCC will travel to Pyongyang for an exhibition of Western-style wrestling. Emanating from the Rungrado 1st of May Stadium, the show will house WCC's biggest ever gate, with the stadium holding over 100,000 spectators. The as-yet unnamed event will feature DPRK's own Dangun making his WCC debut. There will no doubt be criticism of this move, with suggestions of sports washing. However, WCC chairwoman Annabelle Church has maintained the event will shine a light on another side of Korea and is a good step forward in bringing DPRK into the wider global community. And lastly, following the King of the Ring Supercard, WCC's annual Halloween show will take place on a special hour-long episode of Blockbuster. With a 6-man fancy dress battle royal already planned, we look forward to seeing what other spooky season matches are to come. That's all for now. Thanks for watching Monday Mania, and don't forget to check out all the 3 TP action across all the YouTube channels.
We also got an announcement from the PWU committee.
We are the committee. We have news to give you in PWU. We announced the Grizzly Tournament 2024. It will begin soon. Winner goes to Gala and faces the champion in the main event. Speaking of champions, we now officially announce something big regarding the PWU National Men's and Women's Championships. Those belts are going to get an upgrade. They will no longer be named national. They are now PW World Championships. We also announced our new show, PWU. It is known PWW Dominance, a new TV program for PWU. This week, Universal TV will be the last episode. Our roster has talent, but we must remove some of them. 3TP is having a brutal bingo, so we will have matches to see who will be in it. The winner gets to stay, and the loser will be a part of bingo. Hopefully they see success in other promotions across 3TP. This is all we got. We shall talk soon.
Now, while the second Brutal Bingo has not been officially announced, it has been talked about between the owners of 3TP. We will bring you more news on this as it develops. We had New Extremes Wrestling, Brawl number 379. The show would start with Super Tornado taking on a debuting Jackie Ledesma. We then heard from Foxy Valentines, wanting to up the ante at Nightmare Before New Year, turning their tag title match into a TLC match. The EOD came out. In a shocking moment, Ray Sullivan asked Haku Ross and Dallas Rage if they were going to side with Magnum Opus. They both declined. Ray Sullivan cashed in his golden ticket for a men's tag team championship match. We then heard from Rick Weaver. We then heard from Haku Ross, who has made his Summit Prize win an ambulance match against Ray Sullivan. As a result of the tag match, Tasmania vs Sean O'Grady was rescheduled to next week's Brawl. We then had the best of 7 match 4 for the NEW United Kingdom Championship. Over to you, Reno.
Super Tornado versus Jackie Liedesma, 2 stars. Ray Sullivan and Bruce Brown versus EOD, 5 stars. Rico Carver versus Adam Irvin, 5 stars.
We had Zero Channel, PWU Universal TV finale. As mentioned earlier, there are some changes coming to PWU, so while this isn't the end of PWU, it is the end of this era of PWU. We heard from Nella to kick things off, upset with how things are going for her. She's wanting to turn it around in a big way, putting her name in the hat for the Triple Threat Promotions Women's World Championship, presumably at the upcoming Dungeon of Destiny, held by WCC Blitz, would face Asia Lewis for a spot in the 3TP Invitational Cup, which is the perfect time to remind everyone that you don't have to be a part of 3TP to take place. Let's quickly roll the advert with all the information.
Calling all promotions. Would you like to enter a representative of your promotion into the cup? You can enter 1 male and 1 female per promotion. Calling all wrestlers. Not being backed by a promotion for the cup, you can enter independently. How to enter? Entry is simple. Join the 3TP Discord and ask in #lobby to be entered into the cup. Erwin will pick you up from there and gather the details from you. Deadline. The deadline for full detailed entry is 1st of December 2024. We look forward to seeing you all at Triple Threat Promotions Invitational Cup 2025.
Uprising would face 240 choppers. 3 debuts in a triple threat as Malediction, Rico and Melandra faced one another. Marcus Cat would face Returmis. Donnie Rock would face Tony Black in the main event. We then heard from PWU World Champion Rain Allen. Over to you, Reno.
Blitz versus Asia Lewis, 3 stars. Uprising versus 240 choppers, 2 stars. Malediction versus Rico versus Melandra, 2 stars. Marcus Cat versus Redamaris, 3 stars. Donnie Rock versus Tony Black, 3 stars.
All right, Reno, what about the weekly averages?
This brings the weekly averages to 3TP-4.1 stars. New Extremes Wrestling, 3.5 stars. Ronin Pro, 3.3 stars. Zero Channel, 3.1 stars. Color TV, 3.7 stars. WCC, 3.5 stars. Sidebar, 2.8 stars.
Well, that's all from us for this week's show. Links to all the Triple Threat Promotion shows we've covered can be found in the description of this video or on 3TP.page. We'll be back next week for another Monday Mania, next Monday at noon UK time. We'll see you then.